From the Universal Tarot. The Fool. A young man treads close to the edge of a precipice. His clothing, especially the jaunty feather in his cap, betokens a light-hearted attitude and a playful spirit. His loyal little dog willingly follows him everywhere, even over a cliff if it comes to that. But the dog's earthly instincts will also help keep the fool from danger. The fool's right hand supports a staff upon his shoulder, with a small satchel at the end. This staff and bag symbolize freedom from the material attachment, but also from emotional and mental attachment. He literally has very little baggage and travels light. Someone who is unencumbered can move on at any time, and so the fool represents transience, serendipity, and restlessness or eagerness to see what's over the next horizon. The snowy mountain peaks represent challenges and lack of physical comfort. But these are of little concern to the fool. In his left hand he holds a red rose, symbolizing his openness to do whatever beauty, love, and joy the universe has in store for him. In the tarot, the right hand is often considered active, while the left hand is receptive. The sun shines brightly on this innocent soul as he embraces the great adventure of life. Universal message. Life is a journey from adventure to adventure, and a new one is about to begin. Trust the universe to take care of you. From the Initiatory Tarot of the Golden Dawn. The Fool. The Zero Key. The 11th Path. The magical title of the card is the Spirit of Ether. The path of the Fool is that important first connection between Kether, the crown, the ultimate source of everything, and Chokmah, wisdom. It is the path known as the fiery intelligence, the first current of potential vibration. It is the precursor of the first thought. This being the case, the card's meaning is one of the hardest to grasp due to its close proximity to the unmanifest. Aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, as well as the best-loved letter of God, is attributed to this card. In the Zohar, one of the ancient Kabbalistic texts, Aleph is described as absolute unity. Therefore, it cannot be given a number, since numbers are set apart from one another. To this key, a 0 is assigned, since 0 represents the circle of unity. The path of the fool is the possibility, or first glimmer of a thought. From out of the limitless light, the life breath of the Ruach, spirit, begins to form the thought of manifestation. It is the crown of wisdom, the primum mobile, acting through the air on the zodiac. The new Golden Dawn ritual tarot shows the child god Harpocrates about to pick one of the roses, the rose of joy. The child has the sum of all possibilities of life yet to come, therefore he has the potential to do anything. Harpocrates is also the god of silence, and here he is shown giving the sign of silence, one of the grade signs of a neophyte. This alludes to the fact that higher spiritual knowledge cannot be communicated verbally. There is only truth in silence. The innocent babe holds the leash of a powerful wolf, capable of destruction. The two opposing concepts of innocence and ferocity here balance and counteract each other. The babe is the beginning of life, while the wolf has the ability to end life. This card could be said to represent birth or death. Both are natural expressions of the cycle of the universe, although, in this card, the beast is held in check by the divine innocence. Interpretation in a tarot reading. Idea, thought, spirituality, that which endeavors to rise above the material, that is, if the subject which is inquired about be spiritual. But if the definition be regarding a material event of ordinary life, this card is not good, and shows folly, stupidity, eccentricity, and even mania, unless with very good cards indeed. It is too ideal and unstable to be generally good, in material things. From the Science Tarot. The Fool. A student steps forward, eyes buried in a book, the reality of the world around him less important than the words and ideas on the page. While the staircase of books and theories gives him a good start and takes him ever higher, his next step will bring a hilarious fall. The tools and glassware waiting below promise an uncomfortable landing. The fool is that short-sighted enthusiasm which cannot be completely controlled or perfectly refined. The scientific method hones our critical thinking and understanding of the nature of reality, by forcing us to prove our imaginative conclusions with repeated experiments. This can change our conclusions, and perhaps over time it can change our perspective of the world. Every adventure begins with a step into the unknown. A willingness to risk appearing the fool, stumbling into success or failure with enthusiasm and positivity, can help sustain us on the journey. From the Tarot of Shadows, Arcana 22, Antichrist, Fool. Since the earliest years of Christianity, Antichrist is believed to be a person or any other entity that is the embodiment of evil. According to St. John the Evangelist, Antichrist must appear on earth shortly before the end of the world and the second advent of the Messiah. He will attempt to pass as the greatest false Messiah in Christianity. According to Bernard McGinn, just as Jesus Christ is the Savior of humanity, Antichrist will be the personification of evil. Antichrist will introduce himself as a false Christ, working his way to achieving power and earning people's trust. Manifesting himself as God's Son, he will start preaching a new doctrine, and eventually he will declare the true Christ a false prophet. He will imitate Christ's miracles and will even fake his death on the cross and perform his resurrection. His prophets will eventually manage to convert most of humanity to the new faith. Antichrist will achieve the above by way of four methods. 1. Subtle persuasion. 2. False miracles. 3. Gifts. And 4. Intimidation and torture. Those concerned about the fate of humanity are particularly alarmed by Antichrist's ability to perform miracles, as this minimizes the probability to distinguish him from the true Christ. Nevertheless, there is a general consensus that Antichrist is no more than a skillful magician, a real rival of Simon Magus, Simon the Magician. Religious scholars rightfully believe that Antichrist's power of seduction is based on a crucial weakness of the human soul. For some reason, people are susceptible to deception. For Antichrist's ultimate purpose is to seduce people into believing that he is the true God, so that evil will rule the universe to the end of time. Card meaning: betrayal of hopes, untimely actions, mistakes and errors. Caution: inappropriate witticisms, dark humor, a deceitful person, manipulation, lies, cheating, insecurity, emotional manipulation, irresponsibility, insidious deception, confusion, caught up in unpleasant situations, misconception. From the Osho Zen Tarot. Moment to moment, and with every step, the fool leaves the past behind. He carries nothing more than his purity, innocence, and trust, symbolized by the white rose in his hand. The pattern on his waistcoat contains the colors of all four elements of the tarot, indicating that he is in harmony with all that surrounds him. His situation is functioning at its peak. At this moment, the fool has the support of the universe to make this jump into the unknown. Adventures await him in the river of life. The card indicates that if you trust your intuition right now, your feeling of the rightness of things, you cannot go wrong. Your actions may appear foolish to others, or even to yourself, if you try to analyze them with a rational mind. But the zero place occupied by the fool is the numberless number where trust and innocence are the guides, not skepticism and past experience. A fool is one who goes on trusting. A fool is one who goes on trusting against all his experience. You deceive him, and he trusts you, and you deceive him again, and he trusts you, and you deceive him again, and he trusts you. Then you will say that he is a fool. He does not learn. His trust is tremendous. His trust is so pure that nobody can corrupt it. Be a fool in the Taoist sense, in the Zen sense. Don't try to create a wall of knowledge around you. Whatsoever experience comes to you, let it happen, and then go on dropping it. Go on cleaning your mind continuously. Go on dying to the past so you remain in the present, here now, as if just born, just a babe. In the beginning, it is going to be very difficult. The world will start taking advantage of you. Let them. They are poor fellows. Even if you are cheated and deceived and robbed, let it happen, because that which is really yours cannot be robbed from you. That which is really yours nobody can steal from you. And each time you don't allow situations to corrupt you, that opportunity will become an integration inside. Your soul will become more crystallized.